Hey there guys, this week's lesson is going to be about how to use your IRA with real estate to make money tax-free forever. Now before I get started, I think I probably ought to address why you want to use your IRA, and the answer is very simple. Money will grow a lot faster tax-free rather than taxed. And in fact, just sit down sometime and actually do the math yourself if you're capable of using one of those financial calculators, and you'll see that over a 10-year period, if I take X amount of dollars and I invest it, and then I invest the interest and invest the interest in the principal and can keep that money out for a 10-year period and not pay taxes, if I do the same thing by paying taxes and investing the balance, pay taxes and invest the balance, then my money will grow somewhere between 3 and 4 times the amount in 10 years not taxed than it will taxed. So that's reason enough. There is no better way to grow money than tax-free. And the only entity left for the normal person to use is a Roth IRA. So I'm going to show you here what you can do in real estate to make money with a Roth IRA. But first you got to get one set up. If you do not have a Roth, I suggest you go to trustetc.com. That's Equity Trust. Trustetc.com. That's the company that I've been using for about 15 years now. In fact, the owner of Equity Trust, Dick Desich, taught me about this IRA stuff, and I've been passing it on for a lot of years. There's another company, I think there's 5 companies in the country that will let you self-direct your IRA and invest it in whatever you want. But the key is, you got to use one of those companies. You cannot do anything that I'm going to show you here if your bank is in control of it, if Merrill Lynch or an investment banker controls your IRA. They will force you to invest in their things. Oh, they call it self-directed because there's a list of things you can choose, but that's multiple choice. That's not self-directed. If you move your IRA to Equity Trust, or you open one with Equity Trust, or InTrust, or any of the other companies out there, now you're in control and you can do whatever you want with your money and invest it in real estate or anything else pretty much that you want to invest it in. So the key is you got to get a self-directed IRA open, go to trustetc.com. And there's an awful lot of good information on there, and the rules are on there. And the good news is that it only takes about $500 to open an IRA. A lot of people think that it takes a full contribution. Not true. Go spend $500, open your IRA, open one for you, open one for your spouse, and then you're ready to do some really cool stuff with it. I'm going to show you how to marry it with your real estate activities, but you can do an awful lot of things with your IRA outside of real estate as well. Did you know you could invest in a horse if you want to with your IRA. Every time the horse has a foal, you get paid, like my friend Robin Thompson. You can lend money unsecured with your IRA, which I don't suggest. And just take a personal note. I mean, there's an endless list of things you do with your IRA. And of course, what most people don't know is that you can use it to buy real estate with or control real estate. And there is the key. By the way, while you're opening one up, make sure you open a Coverdell if you have children under the age of 18 and you want to put them through college for free. Coverdell. They have to be below 18. You can make a contribution for them, and then use their Coverdell to do what I'm about to show you here, and have money come back into their IRA for educational purposes. And my friend, your child can use the money in their Coverdell to put themselves through college from birth to age 30. That means tuition, travel, books, computers, all educational expense from birth to age 30. If you just open them a Coverdell prior to 18 and do 1 or 2 deals in it like I'm about to show you, voila, your child's education is totally paid for. Very few people know what you're about to learn here. Now let me go over that again so you're clear. Open them a Coverdell before 18, put a little money in there, take a little bit of that money, flip a piece of real estate, here comes a big check. Now that money can be used for any educational purpose. Your IRA will pay the bill for you, or you can pay it and get reimbursed from your IRA for those educational expenses for your college. Figure out what that's going to save you over the course of your college education for your child. By the way, if your child's age 17, get it open. It only takes 1 deal to pay for their education. If they're 18, it's too late. Okay, there are a few rules, and I am definitely not going to go over the rules right now, but there is one big one that I need to caution you on, and that is that you cannot do any self-dealing. You cannot lend money to yourself, your wife, your husband, parents, grandparents, children, grandchildren, or any of your linear descent. You cannot do business with anybody in your linear descent. You cannot buy a home with your IRA and have your child live in it, or your parents. Cannot do self-dealing. Self-dealing is ugly. So be very, very careful and make sure you understand the self-dealing rules. And if you get caught self-dealing, it could cost you your entire IRA. So make sure you're clear on that before you do any of these transactions. Now, if you will let Equity Trust help you and tell them the facts, they'll make sure you don't do anything that's going to cause you harm later. All right, so let's start. How am I going to make money in my IRA? All right, first you got to get one open. And if you have one open elsewhere, just go on trustetc.com and fill out a transfer form. Move it from Merrill Lynch or wherever over to Equity Trust. That'll take about 10 days, and there's no cost of doing that. They'll do it for you, and now you're ready to use your own money. All right, there's several ways you can make money with your IRA using real estate. Number one, you can wholesale a house. I'm hoping if you're watching this video, you know what wholesale means. You simply go make an offer on a bank-owned property, put up a deposit, flip it, and here comes the cash. So, if I'm making an offer on a bank-owned property, I'm likely going to have to use $1,000 of my money as a non-refundable earnest money deposit. However, I get that thing under contract and I flip it, and here comes $10,000 from my flipping. Well, my friend, if this $1,000 comes from your IRA, this $10,000 must go in your IRA. So your IRA puts up $1,000 and gets back $10,000 in a couple of 3 weeks, or a couple of months even. Ask yourself what kind of rate of return that is, and remember, this is never, ever, ever taxed. It's tax-free for your entire life and beyond, for that matter. So you'll never pay taxes on this. Okay? So that's one of the easiest things for you to do is wholesale a junker. Now I'm going to tell you how to do it in just a second, because I would prefer that you never make an offer and put your IRA's name on top of a contract. Okay, let's see, what other kind of deals can we do? We can do an option deal. Now get this one. I teach my students how to option higher-end houses. For example, let's suppose we put up a $100 deposit, because remember, when you're optioning houses, you're optioning them from FSBOs, for sale by owners. You don't need a $1,000 deposit. $100 is what your IRA is going to want you to put up. That's what they'd like to see as a minimum. And now you option a property for, I don't know, let's call it $700,000, and then you simply flip it for $800,000 to an owner-occupant. Okay? I suppose I don't have to tell you by now that your $100 investment to bind the contract turns into a $100,000 profit into your IRA, tax-free forever, on one of these little simple option deals like this. How many of those you need to do a month before you don't have to worry about Social Security anymore? How about a year? By the way, can your kids Coverdale do these? Yes, they can. Can your kids Coverdale partner with your IRA? Yes, they can. Incidentally, I forgot to tell you, when you open up your IRA, make sure you open up one for yourself and one for your spouse. Maybe I did tell you that. Can both spouses partner on these deals? Yes, their IRAs can partner. In that light, you cannot partner with your IRA. You cannot partner with your spouse's IRA or your kids' IRA, but your IRAs can each partner on these deals. So we make 100 grand on this deal. That means we just have it structured so that 50 grand goes into wife's IRA, 50 grand goes into husband's IRA. Or, ladies, the way it should be is 51 grand goes in your IRA, 49 goes in his. That's the way it should be. All right. Save the emails, men. Save your emails. I was just kidding. All right. Can we do an axe deal in your IRA? Yes, you can. Truthfully, we don't even put up a deposit with our axe deals normally, but to make it work in your IRA, guys, you've got to put up a $100 deposit to satisfy the third-party administrator, Equity Trust. So now you put up the deposit, go flip the deal, you get back a $5,000 assignment fee. The assignment fee goes into your IRA. Very, very simple. All right, now, getting a little bit more complicated here. Suppose you want to do a rehab. All right, well, this one comes with a catch. Let's suppose, I'm looking at my notes here, let's suppose that I buy a property for $50, I spend $20 on repairs, and I sell it for $120 to a qualified cash buyer. Now, well, I can tell you right now that you're going to net somewhere around 30 grand if you're lucky if you do that. And you're probably doing the math and saying, well, 120 minus 70 is 50 grand. Where'd the other 20 go? The answer is it went into all of the cost in buying and rehabbing and selling a property. And just in case you think there aren't any, you haven't done any rehabs yet, go do one and we'll come back and argue about it a little bit. But if you net 30 on this deal, you've done well. Now, it's okay to do this in your IRA if your IRA has the $70,000 cash to invest in this property, to fix it and rehab it, and you get the 30 grand back tax-free in your IRA. However, if you're going to borrow this $70,000 to make this deal work, you cannot borrow that money. Your IRA can borrow it, but it has to be non-recourse, which means no personal liability. Your IRA could borrow the 70, pay back the loan, put the net in the account, but it cannot, IRA cannot guarantee debt, any debt, period. So here's what I would suggest you do if you do it this way. First of all, I don't want to see your name on a contract, I mean your IRA's name on a contract. What I would suggest you do is you create an entity. You create an entity. Get yourself, E-N-I-T-Y, I think that's spelled right, okay. Get yourself an LLC, but in this case, you don't own the LLC. Your IRA owns the LLC. Your IRA can open an LLC. It should put at least $100 from your IRA and maybe $100 from your spouse's IRA, and perhaps even your kids' Coverdell if you want to get them in it. And they now own the LLC. Now please do not let this LLC get mixed up in any of your personal business, or you're going to have a problem called self-dealing. This LLC must be owned by the IRA. Now it can be managed by you. You can even collect a management fee if you want. Suggest you don't, but you can. Remember, it's not about sucking money out of your IRA. It's about doing everything you can to get as much money you can in there so that it'll grow tax-free for the rest of your life. That's what you need to focus on. So I don't even want you to take a management fee. You're taking a management fee in the form of not having to worry about Social Security when you get old and decrepit. So you can, or even actually, whether you know it or not, you can take it out at age 59 and a half, and that's not old and decrepit by any stretch of the imagination. By the way, in that light, your Roth IRA has to be 5 years old before you can take it out with no taxes or penalties. If you take it out during the first 5 years, there's a 10% early withdrawal. You can take it out at age 59 and a half without paying taxes on it, but it has to be 5 years old or it's a 10% penalty. All right, so if you form the entity and your IRA owns it, now you make these offers in your entity name, then the money comes into your entity and then gets distributed to your IRA as ownership distributions. That's the way I would suggest you do it. That means that your entity is now on these contracts and your IRA is not on these contracts. Plus it also gives you the ability to become the manager of the entity and make all the decisions and sign off without having to get your IRA involved in signing anything. So entity makes offers, IRA owns entity. But please make sure that the IRA owns this entity and it doesn't do any business except for the IRA. Now, the problem with this deal right here is that if you borrow debt on this property, and if you have any investment that comes with debt or that has any debt on it, you will trigger UBIT, which is unrelated business income tax when you sell the property. That means that the LLC, that the owners of the LLC will wind up paying taxes on that $30,000. So there will be a tax paid here. However, it does mean that the balance stays in your IRA and grows forever tax-free. So if I have a choice of doing a deal with debt in my IRA or doing a deal with debt outside of my IRA, I'm still going to take inside because it's better to have the leftovers grow tax-free than to have them outside and be taxed. Now, you can also do a lease option deal. Just suppose that, I don't know, let me take a look here one I've got. Just to suppose that I wanted to do a lease option deal and it was a sandwich lease. And let's say that I'm leasing it for $150 from the seller, and I'm putting a tenant buyer in it for $170, and I'm getting a $10,000 deposit. I can't even spell. And I'm getting a $300 a month positive cash flow between what I'm paying out and what I'm collecting. Now watch this. Your IRA can lease that property through this entity. So I'll rephrase that. This entity that your IRA owns can lease that property, collect that $10,000 fee, put it in your IRA, tax-free forever, continue to collect that $300 per month as long as this tenant buyer stays in this house, literally for years and years and years. And of course, if and when they ever do cash out, the IRA collects the back end as well. So I'm suggesting to you, how many of these sandwich lease deals do you want to do per year inside your IRA? And the reason you're not going to trigger UBIT, unrelated business income tax, is because the lease option is not debt, ladies and gentlemen. It's a lease purchase. There's no debt. There's no loan. Therefore, it doesn't trigger UBIT. So these things are beautiful to put inside your IRA. And by the way, last time I checked, Equity Trust will collect your rent, pay your underlying rent, and deposit the rest in your account and charge little or nothing for that if you want them to. So you might want to check into that as well. So anyway, this is the kind of deals you can do. Do your own math, and you can see that you probably ought to focus heavily on doing as many as you can inside your IRA, as often as you can, so that you don't ever have to worry about Social Security or what the government's going to do. If you can just imagine, give yourself a few years and constantly feed these into your IRA, play by the rules, pretty soon your IRA is going to have a lot of money in it because it's tax-free forever. Now, obviously this is a short course. This is not everything you need to know about IRAs. We have my all-day IRA course in the store on your Gold Club site. You may even have enough points to go get it for free, or you can pay the difference. I strongly suggest you do get it if you don't have it. And if you do not have it now, and or you don't want to go purchase it, you might want to go to ronsquickstart.com, and also you'll see there how you get it free if you want to come to our training as well. So the course is readily available to you. It's not very expensive, and again, if you have enough points, you can get it for free. So I hope that enlightens you a little bit about the value of having your IRA and using it. Remember, it's one thing to set it up, it's another thing to actually make deals go in it so you can get that money in there. Now, one question that people always ask, well, gosh, how do I get money? What if I need the money to live on? Well, the answer is, you're in your years right now where you can go earn a living. That may be a time when you may not want to do that anymore, and I suggest you have this ready when that time comes. Go earn your money elsewhere. But remember, you can always take money out of your IRA. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. You can always pull money out of it. Worst case, you have to pay taxes on it. Isn't that exactly what you're going to do if you don't do it in the IRA anyway? So you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. I hope that was a help. See you on the next lesson.